Cause I did 17 years for a man whose real name I didn't even know.
Hey, Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned in to my Empire recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video, check out my Instagram and Facebook and all those things. They are in the description area, so you can definitely check them out. And I also have Snapchat, and it's all the same thing as my my Instagram and my Twitter. Same word, Samore's World, which you'll see down below. Okay, so first let's start off with our shout outs. I'm going to do 2 today. And we're going to start with Shamel Music TV, who said Cookie could have kept that crazy comment to herself. He lost his child and nearly his wife. He's doing well considering. All right, so shout out to you, girl. And also shout out to Demetrius Blackwell for saying, I wonder, do the gay community feel the same way about Miles from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood after seeing the former basketball star Sunday Carter was sitting on his lap while talking in his ear at the club? Ooh, okay, I see you. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into this recap. Let me just get my notes together. Pretty darn good, wasn't it? I mean, almost every episode of Empire that I've seen thus far has been entertaining in some way or another. Like, maybe some have been like super duper entertaining and make you say, oh gosh, but then some of the rest of them, they be like, they still have you hooked. And I love the songs, and I said this last week, the songs are just like icing to the cake, and I love icing. Like, I don't even really care about cake. All I care about is icing, to be honest with you guys. And those people that know me well, they know I'm telling the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, so Camilla, she's officially gone. They had her memorial, and Hakeem was the one that was giving like a speech during it and just saying just to remember her as she was, not the way she went out. And he also says that Rhonda is now the creative director, which is great for their family. That's great for Rhonda. Now she has like a better position. Rhonda, she doesn't really want to live in the house anymore. She's kind of contemplating giving it back, I guess, to Lucious, because, you know, that was a gift because she was pregnant with the next heir to the throne. But I guess it's also bringing back a lot of bad memories for her as well. So that's most likely another reason why she doesn't really want to be there. So it's about to be Cookie's birthday, and she's asking all of the guys in her life to just be appreciative that she's out, she's free, and to enjoy it, because it's been 17 years since she's actually got to celebrate her birthday with her family and not behind bars. Lucious is about to do a music video, and this one's going to be very touching to him because he wanted to really portray his life and everything that he's been through, and the life and journey of Dwight Walker into Luscious Lyon. Laura and her crew, they're getting ready to go on the stage, and Tianna, well, after they go on the stage and everything, Tianna, she's upset because she says that she's taking too long, she's cutting into her time, and Tianna had to like sun her real quick and was like, yo, you can't be doing this, you can't, I'm the professional here, I'm the star, you're just a headliner, you can't be coming up and doing all these extra stuff and just like cutting into my time. That's unacceptable. And you can't, I guess she was going in her wardrobe. That's another thing that she had mentioned like later on that she was doing. And she, you know, Laura, she's just looking all innocent, like, I was just trying to get the crowd riled up for you. Look at them. And they were like screaming her name and everything. I mean, I think it might have been in good intention. She doesn't seem like a malicious person, but you never know. Some of these people be flipping. You know, you thought they were good. You thought they was nice, and then all of a sudden they become somebody else, and you're like, oh, that's the real you. Okay, I see you. And so we shall see, hopefully, or if she does become like really into this whole thing and become like a wife or a part of it, I hope she doesn't like change and start thinking that she's running stuff or anything like that. I tell you, sometimes money changes people. We all know that, right? They're going back and forth and telling him their demands, and once again, like I was saying, Tianna was saying that she doesn't want her touching her wardrobe, she doesn't want her cutting into her time, and then Laura was telling him her demands, and he was kind of playing the fence and just kind of going back and forth on both sides, being himself. You know how he is. It's like he's trying to please everybody, but he was more so, I feel, trying to please Laura. Like he was doing little backhanded things, telling Tianna he would do it, and he did speak to Laura, but then he's like, you know, I got you though. I got your back. Like things like that. So yeah, Tianna's starting to notice it though, and I could see. There was one point where they were kissing, him and Laura. There was actually 2 scenes that they showed where they were kissing. And you could see the green little monkey inside of her eyes. You know, the jealousy monkey? It was right there. So I'm just like, I feel like she's going to do something. Like she has that same look with the green little monkey that Anika has or had in the past. So you definitely got to watch those types. And he also had both of them go on stage at the same time while he brought out some new music. I thought it was going to kind of get a little odd, or I mean, it kind of seemed like Tianna was trying to outdo her though. Did y'all see how Tianna was like shaking her booty and stuff like that? Like she was going extra hard. And you know, Laura, I'm looking at her booty. Her booty wasn't doing too much. I mean, her pants wasn't as tight as Tianna. Tianna had like pretty much a skin outfit on. So you could see a little pop and shake and moving and stuff. But the other one, I'm just like, these girls look like they're competing for your love. This looks crazy. And they should have had on similar outfits in my opinion. It just looked like Tianna, and then she had her dancers that had on a similar outfit, and then it was Laura. Like Laura just like stood out like a sore thumb. Hakeem and Jamal, they go on a hunt to find Frida Gatz, and the reason why is because they want her to record with Jamal. So when they finally find her, they ask her, tell her what it is that they would like to do. She wasn't messing with it because she, at the end of the day, is loyal to Lucious, because Lucious is the one that came to her, wanted her to work with him, and just kind of like took her onto his wing and made her see her potential and bring the star power out of her. Following that, she soon learns, even after they told her, and they're his own kids, she just was like, you know, trying to keep that loyalty. She soon learns how he can be, because when he started doing his music video, you know, it was real personal to him, and that's understandable. But if you have somebody create a whole like verse or whatever, they pour their heart out into it. Like it was real from deep within inside of them. And then you just cut it out without any warning, without anything. You didn't even have the decency to call her and let her know, send her an email or something. Have your secretary, well, you don't really have a secretary at this point, right? But, you know, do something professional to let her know that you wasn't going to be able to work with her on this particular project because it was so near and dear to you. No, you let her come all the way down there, and of course she gets tight. So you just lost one, because she's just not, I mean, for me personally, you do something like that to me, for the most part, unless you're like real close to me, like family or something, you're not going to do that again, because it's just not going to happen. Lucious, he finally gets to tell Cookie his story about his mother and how Frank Gatz had actually played a role in his life. He tells her the whole story that we all know because we've seen it before, so I'm not going to go over it. But she felt so much pain for him. You could see the pain in her eyes as she was listening to his story. And yeah, he also mentioned that Frank Gatz was the person that gave him his first bag, I guess bag of weed, I'm supposing, because I know they'd be like, oh, give me that bag, 10 bag, dime bag, and all that stuff. So he gave him his first bag that he sold, and that's how he got into the life of being a hustler, and kind of led him to where he is today, despite the crime and all those other things and selling drugs. He made it out, and he made it to a better place in life. And that's when she hears that, once Cookie hears that, that's the story that she's like, you have to tell. He was a little reluctant at first. He didn't really want to do that because that's putting you out there. there, and I can totally relate, because on my other channel, you guys know I do story times, and a lot of times I'm like, man, do I really want to tell this particular story? There's a lot. I have like a long list, and I'm like, because that's going to put me out there for me to be vulnerable to the world. It's like I want to share, I want to empower, but it's also going to put you out there. And certain people might look at you a little funny depending on who you're talking about, or it can have backlash. There's a lot of things that can happen. So it always has you like on defense mode, like, I don't know if I want to really open up this gate and let everybody in. So I feel like that's what he was feeling at that moment when he's like, I don't know. But she kind of was like persistent and told him it's something you got to do, especially because I did time for a man for 17 years and I didn't even know his real name. And that's crazy that she, out of all people, didn't know his name. And she was married to the man. Hakeem, so after that scene, then he does his whole music video, and she wants Jamal and Hakeem to go to her birthday party. But Hakeem, who was it? I think it was Jamal that said that he didn't really want to do it or whatever. He was just like, no, I don't want to do this. And he didn't want to be around Luscious. But eventually when she went to her birthday party, like it was just going to be her and Luscious just kind of reminiscing and just relaxing and just enjoying the moment. She hears music playing, and it just so happens to be the whole family that was in the room. And she's like, how did you pull this off? He was like, well, it just so happens that they love you more than they hate me. So she got to have a great birthday. Well, it started off great until she showed the video. She wanted to have like a reveal party, almost like how the rappers have listening parties and things like that. And once she puts it on, somebody that really took offense to it was Andre. And we all know why, because he's bipolar. He's been outcast and just felt like he was a monster, like something was wrong with him. He didn't know how this happened to him, why it was him that was chosen, this and that, and where did it come from. He just thought he was a freak. And come to find out all this time that it was Lucious' mom is where he got it from. And he even saw the scene where she killed herself, and it was something that he almost did. So all of those things was like bringing back emotions for him. I'm hoping he doesn't have like a breakdown or anything. But it definitely brought out emotions for him. He got upset and he asked Luscious why he never told him, and he was like, because I sent you to all these schools, these special schools and everything, and I let you get married to Rhonda and everything else because I just wanted you to be different. I was ashamed of her and I'm ashamed of you. And words like that, they cut deep. And even if you apologize, at the end of the day, you can't really take them back. So that was a real messed up thing for him to say. Yes, it was honest, but it's messed up. And some things I feel like, although it's honest, should be left unsaid. Does that make sense? I think it does, but y'all can tell me. Some people, honesty is the best policy, but not when it's going to hurt somebody to that extent. I don't think so. Anyway, so Hakeem ends up leaving early. Andre leaves early. He didn't even want to talk to Rhonda. He just leaves, and he ends up he goes somewhere, and Hakeem goes back to the whole tour, and he ends up proposing to Laura. And this was the other part where I told you that Tianna had that green little monkey in her eyes, the green little envious monkey. Yeah, she had it once again. She tried to smile and play it off like she didn't feel some type of way, but she did when she saw the crowd around them as they were kissing and taking pictures and just becoming the next big headline. And following that, what happened next? Oh, Rhonda, she calls Anika, and Anika comes and picks her up, and they just she's like, I don't want to go home, and I just need to get away for a few days because of everything with Luscious and what happened with him. And she was like, girl, you're good with me. And she was like, good, because I just want to be safe. I'm like, girl, that is not safety. You might as well submerge yourself in the freaking ocean and see what happens if you want to see if you're going to be safe or not. That's just ridiculous hanging out with this girl. This girl is treacherous, honey. Frida Gatz, she goes to the studio And she's ready to work with the guys, with the fellas, with Jamal and Hakeem. And she starts doing her thing. She's rapping. And all of a sudden, she brings up Frank Gathers. Did I say Frank Gatz before? Yeah, I know what I meant. So she brings up Frank Gathers, and Cookie's like, hold on, what you Free? What you just said? You know him? It's like, yeah, that's my dad. You know, and she talks about him a little bit and how people try to pretend like it didn't happen and all those things. And Cookie just ends up storming out of the studio. She did it on a slick tip, but she like pretty much was, it seemed like she saw a ghost when she was like just kind of had her back against the wall. She just looked like she was having an anxiety attack or something, because it's crazy that now things are kind of coming together where, okay, now she's starting to see why Lucius had her under his wing and why he was trying to uplift her and do all these other things for her, and why everything is the way it is. Like, now it's starting to make sense, and why he took such an interest in her. So, yeah, it's crazy, honey. It's crazy. And that's like, I guess, like, almost like the daughter he never had. Because, you know, they were supposed to have a daughter. So that's like another thing. He's taking her under his wing and everything else. That's what I'm kind of seeing. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below for a chance to be featured on my next video. Okay, my next Empire recap. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Later.